Hi, boys and girls. Happy Friday. You've made it a whole week with Writer's Workshop. I'm going to start our day off today for writing by talking about a community helper book called Firefighter. Okay, so I'm going to read this book. Talks a little bit about the firefighters and what their job is as a community helper, and then we're going to go ahead and do a review of what you've done for writing this week. Okay, so if you want to pause the video, get all your writing papers that you've done this week with your community helper packet that was sent home, grab that and bring it next to you, and then we'll get started. All right, welcome back. So I hope everybody has their papers, okay, so we can do a little bit of a review. First, I'm going to read this book to you called Firefighter. The first thing I noticed is that there's a woman here on the cover. And I love that because both boys and girls can be firefighters. So it's not called fireman or firewoman, it's called firefighter. So keep in mind, if you're a girl and you want to be a firefighter someday, you can. What does a firefighter do? He or she drives the truck. That's one thing that the firefighter does. She looks, he talks, he sprays water, right, to put the fires out, and he keeps me safe. Look at, looks like you rescued a little boy or a little girl from a fire. Do you know a firefighter? Maybe you have a friend that's a firefighter, or maybe you've seen one before. I bet you've seen a fire truck. So that's just one example of a community helper. Let's go over our writing this week so we can talk about what you worked so hard at doing for writing this week with our community helpers. Remember, our first page was, how can I be a community helper? Okay? And the ideas that we came up with together were being kind, waving to a neighbor, saying hi, picking up garbage that you see in your neighborhood or in your yard or at a park. Sharing, maybe sharing your basketball hoop or sharing toys. And being a community helper at your house, okay? Vacuuming, helping with dishes, things that you can help with at your house. The next thing you worked on was finishing that sentence. Okay, remember this had the beginning of the sentence done for you, and then you were to finish it. And what I wrote was, in my community, I help out by teaching students. And then I did a picture of me with a rug in a classroom. Okay, what did you write about with yours? How can you help out in your community? Did you add some letters and sounds down here to finish that sentence? Lots of colors up here. I didn't do that, did I? But I know you're going to because you are good at coloring. The next thing we worked on is, how can you make a difference? I wrote hug a pet. Okay, we talked about those veterinarians and how they help with pets and how you can help with pets by giving a pet a hug, making a pet feel better. How else can you make a difference? Did you list 5 things that you can help with and make a difference with in your community? Okay, if not, try to think of 5. Ask an adult in your house to help you. And the last thing we worked on, boys and girls, was writing a letter. Writing a letter to a community helper in your community. I wrote one to my mail helper. It says, "Dear mail helper, community helpers are important to me because you work hard. Thank you for my mail. I love that you are careful." And then my name, Mrs. Burlick. You also had the option to write this one. Some of my first graders might have chosen to write longer sentences. Okay? So go ahead and finish working on your community helper pages this week for writing. You did such a good job. You should certainly give yourself a pat on the back. There was lots of writing this week, so I'm proud of you, and we'll see you next week.